Hi guys, it's Rose from the Philippines. It's February 12, 2016. It's a Friday, and I had the time to video today because the kids are not here and my parents are outside. They are watching separate televisions. So I have a few works in progress and a finished object. The only finished object that I have is this regular guy beanie for Daniel. He hasn't worn it yet because I wanted to show it to you guys, but it definitely fits him. And for the brim of it, I decreased it every now and then so it has some kind of star shown on its brim, or the brim of it. And this is using some variegated yarn from Tabora. And since I like it so much and Nicole wanted me to make her some with black yarn, I'm starting out another one. This is one of my whips. These are 100 stitches, and I think I'm going to turn this into a 2x2 ribbing all the way to the top. 2x2. So this is using the camouflage variegated yarn. And I'm hoping that I'm not dim. One of my wristbands that I made, I washed it because it's getting a little bit dirty. And I pinned it on the window. There's another whip. And you know how when you make an item or a project, that it gets easier the second or the third time that you're going to make them. So I have that thing with the Tinkerbell that I'm making because I know what the parts to make in sequence already, the step by step of it. I made this and I wasn't confused anymore on what to do next. So the first thing that I did was her head and the part of her body. Then next will be her skirt, and it gets easier because I've already made two of these. And this is also for my niece. My niece is, her name is Alil or Karil. And I still have to put the pom-poms on her shoes. And I think this one turned out pretty tall. And I didn't use the same yarn for the beige or the cream parts of it. I used a familiar yarn, and the first that I used was a Mayflower yarn. So I think the gauge is a little bit different. So I already put her ears, and since I don't have the blue-green yarn left, I have to buy them, and also some cream ones, because the next thing that I'm going to make are her wings. And as you know, I made her wings double, and I've already made 4 of them, so I have to make 4 more, and I ran out of yarn. So as soon as I get the payment from the office, from my atas at the office, I'm going to Tabora to buy some yarn. And my other projects really need some more of the yarns. So these are supposed to be her wings. And for the first time that I did it, I put a felt cloth inside and sewn them together so they will be rigid. as Miss Jan says. And going to put that on her back. Then I think the last thing that I should make is her face and her hair. So I think I still have a few of the lemon yarn for her hair. So that is one of my whips. Whips. So another project that I'm making is my best friend's sister's stitch. With this, I'm having a dilemma with the color work because I incorporated the color work with this, and it's not that neat. It's supposed to be going that way, but it turned out like this because I'm not that good with color work. I know someone that is good with color work, that is Miss Malon. Hi, Miss Malon. And I incorporated the color work here, so she will have the tummy part. And I wouldn't do another one, or I wouldn't do a separate one and then sew it in. I tried it with the color work and it's kinda okay. His body is like this, and he's going to have uh, arms and 2 legs. And my niece Nicole, she said that Stitch, he has 6 limbs, but from the picture that I've seen in the internet, he only has 4. So I'm going with 4. So I went to the 2 more for this one. And he also has a very big ear that I'm going to do next because his eyes is so big too. So I have the yarn for this except for the blue ones. I ran out of it, so I'm going to buy more so I can finish this one. And I'm hoping that this amigurumis are huggable like the other amigurumis that I made before. Because it's good to take them to bed. So those are my whips. I made another one of the Hello Kitty. This yarn turned to be tend to be dirty because it's white. I don't know how it gets dirty, but maybe because I put the yarn down sometimes. But sometimes they get dirty. But I'm supposing that the owners of this will wash them. So it's supposed to be smaller than the other 3 that I made. I've increased 10 times, and for those big ones, I've increased 14 times. And I'm on the decreasing part now, and the putting of the fiber fill inside. So this Hello Kitty, she's going to have a clothing too that is connected to the hood part. So I'm hoping to make that. I think she's going to have a suit type of clothing. And the inner part, I'm going to use some pink yarn, light pink. So those are my whips, and I've shown you the beanie. So you learned that one. And Mama and I were going to Malabon on Sunday. We have relatives there, and she has a sister from the first family of my lolo, and they're there. He's going to hold her 80th birthday, so I'm hoping that we can see them on Sunday. And I'm guessing that we won't go to church. My aunt and I I'm not going to church then because we're going to Malabar. Yeah, I think notes come in handy when you are repeating a project. So from now on and ever since, I'm going to take notes because it's very useful from when you repeat the same project. And it's also useful that you have some drone drone of the you have the drawing of the items that you're making. So you'll have an idea of its measurements. I wanted to make this zebra amigurumi and also a piglet amigurumi. And I have an order for a crochet box stand, but it incorporates the jersey from, I think my niece told me that this is the Golden State logo. So I've also drawn that. But my classmate is going to the Philippines, going back to the Philippines on May. So that is a long time project. I still have to think about it. Yeah, I have some beads acquisitions from when I went to the office last Saturday. I went to Quiapo and I bought some beads that I'm going to make into big pouches. So I have the yellow one. I don't know if I've shown you this before. I have the red one. I have this blue. I think this is sea blue. I have the fuchsia pink. These are from Quiapo. And they are 75 pesos each. And I'm hoping that I can make a pouch out of them and there will be leftovers so I can make other items. And there's the white. White is very useful to incorporate with other colors. And the last bit is blue violet. And for those pouches, I needed some lining and some zippers. So from that store, they sold some, I think this is 1 yard each. 1 yard of this big zipper. So all I have to buy are the sliders. I forgot to buy from them. So I have the red one, the yellow one, the blue, the violet. These are very useful because you really have to incorporate the color of the zipper to the beads. So it will be fancy looking. But I think I still have to buy the other color linings that I don't have. And I'm hoping that from the store that I'm going to buy that from, they will sell me some 1 yard only. Because from the last time, they didn't do that. They sold it every 2 yards. Because it's pretty cheap. I'm guessing that's what they do. I don't have some shout outs now. And I think I'm going to do that next time. It's starting to get sunny again. So that's it. That's all for now. I'm hoping you guys have a nice day. And it's weekend again tomorrow. I'm hoping you have some family time. So we're going to Malabon on Sunday. And I've also been editing some pictures that I put on Instagram, and I have an Instagram now. It's also Sedi and my other account on Ravelry is also Sedi. I think I should write that or lettering that. But my mama, she ran out of the pencil. So these are all that I written down. That's it. Bye for now.